Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Today we're getting into part 3, where Professor Snape and Headmaster Dumbledore will be helping us with the presentation as our wizard chess game with Professor McGonagall takes an unexpected turn. Right, where to first? I have some advice for you, but first I must deal with the thief I'll send for you. Okay, see you soon, Snape. Right, Snape should be ready for us now. Snape, only 3 tasks in this one, so a small one. Let's learn from Snape how not to be as a human being. What is this on the table in this weird shape? I'm telling you, Penny, it's like Professor McGonagall knows something about everything. When we're playing chess, it's like she can read my every move. She's just so wise and magical. She's both those things, Shiny. You knew that before you even started the teacher appreciation interview. And I'm still not sure what I say in my presentation, but it has to be good, and she's a special honoree. Well, you're definitely making progress by interviewing the teachers and playing wizard chess with McGonagall. Didn't she tell you that getting to know your opponents is a good strategy? Well, that's exactly what you're doing. You're right, Penny. But McGonagall also told me I have trouble staying present. Wise words. Oh god. I've done it again, guys. Need to stop moving my mic. Wise words indeed, Hunter. So why don't you focus on the task at hand, which is reviewing your Wiggenweld potion. Professor Snape, I feel like you always somehow sneak up on me. How could I sneak up on you in my own classroom? Unless, of course, your head was somewhere else, like Professor McGonagall suggested. Yes, Professor. Potion Hunter, need I remind you, the last time you made the concoction, it was merely passable. Oh, they even left the dot for him. Professor Snape's got a point, so let's focus on the present, like Professor McGonagall suggested. All right, Penny, let's review the potion. Good. Stop hemming and hawing, Hunter, and get on with it. Flubberworm mucus is an absolutely vile-sounding ingredient. We need to add salamander blood until the potion turns red. I just want to get my next interview with Professor McGonagall. Every time I use honey water, I'm tempted to taste it. I would be. The potion should turn many colours if I remember correctly. I've got the boomberry juice. You're lucky to be working with someone skilled as Miss Hayward, Hunter, right? I mean, I know that. I'm lucky to be just sitting next to her. Snape. Snape, old boy. Success. Okay, the brew is done. Now we just have to wait for it to cool and the potion is ready. Are you sure it's supposed to turn that turquoise colour at the end? Absolutely. Are you questioning my potion making, Shiny? I'm just worried that much like I've botched potions in the past, I could be botching the game of wizard chess and playing with Professor McGonagall. I just don't want to disappoint her in the game or the presentation. What Minerva McGonagall respects more than anything is people who don't quit. She and I have that in common. I see that, Professor. She deserves to be properly honoured at the Teacher Appreciation Feast, unless you fail her by giving up. Is that what you are, Hunter? A failure? No, I'm a winner. Professor Snape. I'll do my best for Professor McGonagall at the presentation, and in our chess game. That remains to be seen. But in the meantime, may I suggest you stop whining and wallowing, and rise to the occasion. Else you disappoint us all at the Teacher Appreciation Celebration. Yep, how not to be. Well, that sounded like a threat. Professor Snape can just be a bit gruff, but maybe you can use his words to embolden you to do your best in your presentation, because that'll encourage his behaviour, as well as in the wizard chess game. Playing should be fun, not scary. You're right, it's fun. I'm lucky to even get to play with Professor McGonagall. No other student has that chance. Exactly. I bet Professor McGonagall believes in you, and so do I. And I just thought of someone I believe in who could have the answers I need. Who? The headmaster. I'm headed to see Professor Dumbledore next. To the Dumbledore! It's time for us to talk. Join me in my office. Dumbledore, this is Dumbledore, Dumbledore. Thank you for agreeing to see me on short notice, Headmaster. Your note came at an opportune time. I've been meaning to call you in myself. Oh, really? I have been hearing interesting rumours about you and your activities lately, and I have some opinions about them. Activities, sir? Yes, you've been very busy, so I felt it was time we talked. Do you have any idea what about? About my McGonagall research, right? Indeed it is. Brilliant, because that's exactly why I need to speak to you. I'm glad to hear it. Proceed. I've been thinking that to really honour Professor McGonagall at the Teacher Appreciation Celebration, that I need to talk to the people who know her best, so I've been interviewing her friends and peers. I admit I've heard about your pursuit of information about our esteemed honoree, and I'm happy to hear you've been doing your homework. It's why I wanted to call you here as well, to commend you. I'm glad, because as headmaster, you're top of the list of the people I need to talk to. After all, you've known her the longest. It's true, I do have a unique insight into Professor McGonagall, and aside from having the privilege to work with her these many years, I also had the honour of teaching her in her own time as a student here at Hogwarts. I've heard so many great and interesting things about the Professor so far, but I really want to know what makes her special to you, Headmaster. And let's begin helping you to further appreciate Professor McGonagall. Would be my pleasure. It should be an 8 hour. It is an 8 hour. Right, we're back. We're towards the end of this now, where we're listening to Dumbledore's interview. Is Professor McGonagall your favourite staff member? What was the most surprising thing about Professor McGonagall as a student? I hold Professor McGonagall in high regard. To say she is wise is an understatement. Professor McGonagall always finds ways to surprise me, even today. She was a gifted student, to say the least. Few people actually realise how funny she is. Went through that in double Dumbledore speed. Double Dumbledore speed. Say that 10 times fast. So as you can see, I'm no short of qualities to extol about the subject of her personalisation. And we discussed not only is she wise, and... What? Stop speaking so fast, Dumbledore. Stop speaking so fast. Presentation. And as we discussed, not only is she wise and a master of wizard chess, but it's been most satisfying to see her grow into a master of magic as well. Did you always know she was going to join the staff at Hogwarts? Actually, we were her second job after she graduated, though I have to admit I was relieved she chose to call us here when she decided to leave the Ministry of Magic. Professor McGonagall worked for the Ministry? I had no idea. For a time after, yes she did. I bet a lot of people are glad that she made the decision to teach here instead. Indeed, Professor McGonagall is dedicated, but possibly my favourite thing about her is how trustworthy she is. She would never let down her colleagues or any of the students at Hogwarts. In fact, McGonagall is the person I would entrust Hogwarts to in my absence. Professor McGonagall will be brilliant, of course, but I hope that day never comes, sir. I assure you that it has, and it will again. But Professor McGonagall has the strength to handle whatever comes her way. She has my complete trust and faith. I definitely don't want to disappoint Professor McGonagall at that celebration. Won't if you have faith and trust in your teacher as well. As I said, she won't let you down, as I expect you won't either. Thank you, Headmaster. Good luck in your presentation and in your wizard game, chess game. You have to be quite the player to best your professor. You're right, I'm sure, but for now, I need to decide on my next move and bring it back to Professor McGonagall. It's time for our next interview. To McGonagall! What did he mean by I'm sure it has? Time to continue our game. Meet me in the Transfiguration classroom now. What did he mean by that? Does that mean I'm sure it has the other headmasters have come to the end? I'm very confused. I was very confused by that. Let me know the interpretation of that, because I wasn't sure. Right, Finals move. Oh, I wish we could actually play with a chess. I feel like it would be well better if I could actually try and beat her. And she was like an average level chess player, even though I am a below average chess player. Below average, probably. Actually. The game's gotten quite exciting, Professor. You're definitely offering me a challenge. That is the intention. Nothing in life worth earning comes easily. It certainly sounds that way. You clearly worked hard throughout your career. In fact, the headmaster thinks of you as a master of magic. From Dumbledore, that's quite a compliment, as he's one of the most skilled wizards of our time. Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever be that skilled too, or if I have what it takes. To wonder is to waste time. To answer is within you, so let's have it. What do you think is required to become a master of magic? Hard work, luck, or talent? Mix of all of them, if I'm honest. I'd probably say hard work is the main thing though. A master of magic, yeah, hard work. I expect it takes hard work, but I'm confident I can become a master of magic if I work as hard as you have. Partly because I take my studies seriously. Professor, just as you did. Your teachers will appreciate that, as do I. I'll take that to heart, Professor. Anything is possible, but one does not become versed in the magical arts overnight. You still have a long road ahead, and much to learn. I know, and I have to say, it's been fascinating learning more about you, Professor. For instance, I didn't know you had a Muggle parent. Does that qualify as fascinating? It's simply a fact. Well, and let's talk about your student achievements. I was so impressed to hear you were a prefect, a head girl, and aced all your exams. And also that you played Quidditch in a famous match between Gryffindor and Slytherin. Is there a question in the midst of all this rambling? I guess I'm just curious to hear more about them right from the hippogriff's mouth. If you think it would be helpful for your presentation, calling me a hippogriff, then that's where I thought that was going. We can discuss this all in greater depth as we play. I'd love to hear anything more you have to add. Add away. I feel exhilarated when I watch a spirited Quidditch match. To be head girl was an honour, and I took my duties seriously. My mother was a witch, though she initially kept that from my father. To have pride in who one is, as in what one does, is not necessary, it's essential. Those who enjoy responsibility and socialising will enjoy being a prefect. Your interest in wizard chess makes sense alongside your love of Quidditch. You've done a lot while you were at Hogwarts as a student and teacher. When it comes to that infamous Quidditch match, I believe Gryffindor was cheated. My father was indeed a Muggle. Interesting. Take heed. Keep watch of the board and the game as we discuss all of this. The chess game keeps getting more interesting, along with the interviews. Do we have enough energy? That is the question. No. But I think we do have enough. I never get those watches anymore. But I think it will be quicker to just scoot through the typical energy spots. I know there's more, but these are my go-to. My go-to to get to, I reckon, 8. 8 will do it. Bets, bet away, go. Place your bets now. How much energy will it take left? I'm going for 8. It's between 8 and 7 for myself personally. Place your bets. Right, I'm going 7 actually. I'm switching it to 7. Out of necessity. It's not a necessity. Not a necessity, but yeah, I think 7. 1, 2, 3. Did anybody win that with 3? Wow. I was way off. Thanks, Professor. Hearing your thoughts on what I've learned so far is very helpful. And you still have more questions, I assume. Actually, there was one fact I learned while talking to Professor Dumbledore that surprised me. Well, are you going to ask about it promptly, or leave it hanging there for me to wonder about? I guess I was surprised to hear you came to Hogwarts after working in the Ministry of Magic, and I'm wondering, what was working there part of your long-term plan? Is that what you think? That my life has always gone according to plan? Well, it's just that you seem to be successful at everything you set your mind to. Even your chess moves during this game has been so methodical and strategic. Oh, you do have so much to learn about the journey of life. So leaving Ministry isn't something you anticipated. It's hardly a sordid story. I worked there for a year, and I made a choice to be an educator. I guess I wondered if there was something more to it. Perhaps. Our choices can affect who we are. Every move you make during our chess game has ramifications, and the choices you make very soon will determine what you'll say at your presentation and how I'll be represented. Until then, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that you're now in check. Oh no! Don't fret, the game isn't over yet. I'm proud of that little rhyme. I'm gonna go. Though you'll have to wait until our final chess session to see if you'll be the victor of the game in this game. Blession. No, you've lost it, McGonagall. Do well in your teacher appreciation presentation celebration, and then we will return to finish our match. Part 3 complete! 1 day and 22 hours left. In part 4, we will finally celebrate Professor McGonagall at the Teacher Appreciation Celebration. That's all for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, please leave a like on the video. Hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all for me. See you guys soon.